Alright, the Acolyte trailer has officially dropped, so let's talk about it. So as the trailer starts, we see Master Soul explaining that they must close their eyes because your eyes can deceive you and you shouldn't trust them. Then we get to see, hopefully, a little bit more world building. This is 100 years before the Phantom Menace. This is at the end of the High Republic. The Jedi are at the height of their power, and we're going to find out what went wrong. As the answer, we get life, balance, and fire. We get to see Master Indara, played by Carrie-Anne Moss. One of the things that this show is going to focus on is it's not going to be a lot of blaster, to be personal conflict. There's no war happening, so you're going to get to focus more on the characters themselves. We're going to get to see a lot more hand-to-hand combat. The synopsis of this show is that somebody's killing the Jedi, and all of these Jedi band together to try and figure out who is doing this. You get to see this shot of the Wookiee Jedi, which is really exciting. The tone of the show goes on to mention that if Star Wars is about the underdog versus the institution, in the Acolyte, the Jedi are the institution. And she was interested in a storyline where the Jedi were at the height of their power, and she doesn't mean the Phantom Menace, because at that point there's a Sith Lord in the Senate, and they're not picking up on that. So Headland wanted to explore a little bit further back. When seeing a Sith, it's like seeing a velociraptor. It's a thing I've heard of, but it's not a thing you would ever consider interacting with. The darker tone, focusing on the duality that exists beyond the simplistic black and white view of good versus evil. The Acolyte asks a question before the fall of the Jedi: what went wrong? And Headland asks if the bad guys are actually the underdog. It just seems like a cool reversal. She does go on to say, you're going to see her infuse the original films, the current books, and legends into the story. Half Thelan, half human Jedi. Jackie, played by Daphne Keane, which was always a dream of hers. She first fell in love with the species when Rystal Sant joined the Max Rebo band in the special edition of Return of the Jedi. There's also some EU lore that she put in because she thought it would be cool. And the series is going to introduce a Sigerian Jedi and canonize one species that is yet to be seen. She also reveals there's a couple of really big EU ideas that are utilized both early on in the series and later on. Now, for those who are fans of the High Republic books or comics, you might recognize Jedi Vernestra Rowe. Leslye was very excited about that scene where the door opens. Played by the actor Rebecca Henderson, the character makes her live-action debut about 100 years older than the teenage prodigy we first meet in the High Republic. For those that didn't read or don't know much about the High Republic era, Headland goes on to say that whether or not you read the books or watched the series, it's going to be an entry point for newcomers. You don't need to know much to enter the story. Now, there is an important part that Leslye says: whatever you think the Acolyte is, it's not. It's not that. It's a drop in the bucket. Hang in there and check it out. That's it for this video and this Acolyte trailer breakdown. Now, I understand there are folks in the Star Wars community that are not going to watch this. They've made up their mind, and to each their own. For those that are excited about this trailer, what did you think? What was your biggest takeaway, and what are you most looking forward to seeing?